Hello, welcome to a new reading vlog. I didn't plan this, but my shirt is kind of convenient if you saw the title, because today, well, I mean for the next like a week and a half, 2 weeks probably, we're reading red books. Kind of like red, black, grey, white, those kind of color tones, because some of them have more red than others, but I was looking at the stack of books I wanted to read that were high priority, and I was like, hang on buddy, all of these have a very similar color scheme. So our stack for this, like however long it takes, this vlog could be a long one because I'm just gonna keep recording till I've read all these, but this is my stack. This is 7 red, black, grey, white books. So let's talk about each of them individually. So first off, the book I've read like a chapter of this. This is Ink in the Blood by Kim Smejkal. This is what we're going to start off with, so I'm going to be talking about this today. It is a YA or new adult fantasy that looks at tattoo magic. I'm already loving the first prologue and chapter, which I started last night before I went to bed. And I'm technically in the wee hours of this morning. I'm really enjoying this already, and I'm hopeful I could fly through this. I really like the writing style, which is a big deal for me, but I'm already loving it, and the characters are really intriguing, and it was interesting. It was a super interesting first, like, what page am I on? Like 18, first 18 pages. So we have Ink in the Blood. We also have Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames, which is a adult fantasy mercenary getting the band back together kind of story. I'm going to be listening to this on audiobook probably next week. We have Rules for Perfect Murder by Peter Swanson, which is a crime thriller. It's pretty short, so hopefully this could be like a single day read, maybe on the weekend. It's only like 270 pages. We have Aurora Burning by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I'm going to be buddy reading this with April and Paige. So I don't know when we'll start. We were going to start today, but April's copy has not come in yet, so that might not happen. But we'll start this soon. We have Ruthless Gods, which is a YA Slavic fantasy it's the sequel to Wicked Saints. Just love with blood magic. It's pretty chunky. It is like 530 pages, but I'm really excited to read this. We love a good dark fantasy. Wicked Saints had a lot of flaws, but like it was still really fun, so I'm really excited to continue the series. We also have Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett, which is a sequel to Foundry Side, which I literally loved. That was a 5-star blew me away adult fantasy. So I'm very excited to continue on the series. Obviously this is very red tone. So yeah, I had this, Ruthless Gods and Aurora Burning, that I was like high priority to read, so it's kind of where this TBR came from. And finally we have Blood of an Exile by Brian Naslund, which is a dragon book. It's only 400 pages, and I have the audiobook out from my library for this, so I'm going to read along with the audiobook for this one. So that's what we're reading in this vlog. I might listen to other audiobooks during the week, but we're not talking about them in this vlog, so I'm going to check out my wrap up for anything else I might happen to read during the period of this vlog. But yeah, that's what we're going to be reading here today. We're obviously starting with Ink in the Blood. Oh, also I am going to be reading the first 20% of Senlin Ascends. Well, maybe actually 40% by the time we've finished this vlog. But I'm reading it throughout the whole month. It's my Not Safe for Work challenge for edging, which means starting it today on the 1st of the month and not finishing it to the end of the month. So although this loosely fits, it's kind of cream instead of white, but it kind of fits the color scheme. I'm not going to be finishing it in this vlog, so you can check out my wrap up for my thoughts on that one. But that is also getting read today. I might update you on what I thought of like the first little bit today, but I don't know. I feel like we should keep this pure. I'll just talk to you about the other things. Hello, it is just hit 6, it's almost 6. I've done work for the day. I've gone shopping for groceries we need for the next couple of days. I've listened to like more than half of an audiobook, which we're not going to talk about in any detail today. I've also listened to 40 pages of Selling Ascends, which again we're not going to talk about in any detail. But I have not yet kicked in on what we are going to talk about in detail, which is Ink in the Blood, which I've now taken the dust jacket off. So I'm still on page 18 or whatever it was I was on from last night. I'm gonna crack into this now. I'm kind of hoping I could get to like page 200 tonight if I try real hard. That's chapter 18. I don't want to like take too long to read this, so I'm hoping to like get almost done with it tomorrow night. I didn't think I could actually finish it tomorrow, but maybe if we got to page 250 tonight, I could finish it tomorrow. But yeah, I want to try and get as far as I can tonight. So I'm going to try and get through this as quickly as possible. I would like to finish these 7 books by middle of next week, if we're lucky. Don't know, we're not always lucky. We've got to wait till April can get her hands on Aurora Burning before we can start that anyway. But I don't want to, like, I've got so much I want to read this month. I don't want to drag it out too far. So we're going to try and read as effectively and fast as we can. I'm feeling really hyped to read, which I had a couple of days last week where I wasn't and I didn't read much. So I'm excited to get back into it and be like, yes. Might FaceTime with Paige and April for a bit tonight. We'll see. And yeah. Let's do this. Let's get through a bunch of this. Alright, so I didn't read as much as I wanted to yesterday. I got about 118 pages into Ink in the Blood, but I ended up perpetually drawn back to Twitter just because of everything that's happening at the moment. And I feel like I'm too far away to make any other tangible contribution other than donating, which I'm doing. So I just have been retweeting as much as I can and stuff like that, boosting Black voices, but I don't know, I keep getting drawn to Twitter, even though, like, I'm sure I need to take a break from my own sanity, and also I have a job I have to be doing, so I should not be just on Twitter all day. But I keep getting drawn back there, so I've spent a whole morning on Twitter too, because I am a hopeless case. We're about to have lunch, and then I'm going to do work for the all afternoon, and then have work tonight. So I'm going to try and while we're waiting for lunch to arrive, I'm going to read a tiny bit of this. You can tell how far through the page I am. And then, nope, it's gone. Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit of this until lunch comes. Then after lunch, I'm gonna do solid work all afternoon. I got a lot to do, but I'll be listening to my audiobook at the same time. So it's not part of this video, but I'm reading a bit. I'm getting there. My room smells like onions. And not in a nice way. Like I left a piece of onion out all night. It is Wednesday morning. I've got home from work and I've eaten some breakfast, so we're about to crack in. I'm gonna shower and start doing work. But I thought, hang on, have I actually told you what the book I'm reading at the moment is even about? Did I know what it was about last time I was talking to you? So I'm now this much through Ink in the Blood. I'm on page 237, so I've got 200 pages to go. I'm going to try real hard to get it done today. I don't think I'm like not confident, but we're going to try real hard. This is I would say a new adult fantasy. Because I don't feel like the characters are teenagers, but I don't think it's been expressly talked about either. We follow Celia, her and her best friend Anya are Inklings. So essentially, the kind of premise, I guess, is that in this world there was a divine child, that like whole religious system was this divine child that could draw ink on her body, and it was in her blood. I don't know, I don't quite understand how it worked. I think there's a special ink that they then like put into their blood, and she just had it in her blood, maybe. That, oh, that's interesting, that could be a plot twist, that it allows them, once they have it in their blood, and presumably she had it all along, to like tattoo yourself, but it's more like painting with a pen, like with a quill, because they use feathers rather than like a tattoo gun. They use feathers and they draw on their skin and produce these tattoos, which they then can magic onto other people's skin, and they used as a kind of like message from the divine. So she would help people and message these tattoos onto their skin, and she was demonized and I think drowned. And then there was Diavala, which is like the devil side, that then was a young girl who claimed to be the reborn divine, but she couldn't use the tattoos. So they like held her up as the devil kind of character. And so that's kind of like the lore of the world, but there's these inklings who I feel like people aren't meant to know they exist, but they kind of do. They're a group that draw the tattoos as are like mandated by someone who is like the voice of the divine. So they're like the workers of the church essentially, that paint these tattoos onto people. And Celia and her friend Anya are inklings, but they've kind of figured out they can kind of manipulate it. They can put it onto each other's skin without it being permanent. And so they escape into a circus and like a performing troupe. And that's kind of where we're at. They're trying to like break down the system, but be in the system, and circusy vibes. I'm really loving the characters. It also has a really interesting discussion on gender. People have this, like, they call it a tenor, which is like vibes over them that are like got colors in it or something. I don't really understand. It's not, it's just a vibe. The details are not clear. I don't really know how to visualize it. That indicates someone's gender. So people can be fluid in their tenor, or be like non-binary, or have specific pronouns. So people use pronouns based on the tenor that shows off their gender. So there's lots of diverse gender expression in here, but like that idea, I'm not sure how I feel about the like idea of being able to visually, I don't know if it kind of defeats the purpose. I don't know, I'm confused. It's strange to me, but yeah, it's very queer. There's lots of sapphic and otherwise relationships all over the place, and yeah, I'm really liking it. The only thing I could maybe say is the writing style is sometimes hard to follow and hard to visualize. There's a few things where I'm like, wait, what is happening? But it's just the way it's written. Like, I like it. It sounds cool, but then I have a hard time visualizing. Anyway, I'm running out of battery, so I'm gonna go shower and crack into work to listen to some audiobooks, and then crack into this. In a classic bedtime update, I didn't finish Ink in the Blood tonight. I'm so close though. I've got like just over 100 pages left. No, I'm not really that close. I'm gonna try and finish it early tomorrow, because I want to get a good also way through Rules for Perfect Murders tomorrow, which is also called 8 Perfect Murders, I think, in the US. I bought a bed today. Bought some books by Black authors. I donated to some more bail funds. I did work. Classic, gotta do that. Cooked dinner, and yeah, I just kind of ran out of time for everything. I did listen to a whole audiobook, but you know, that doesn't count for this video, so so yeah, I read about 85 pages today, I think, in the blood, which is a bit, but whatever. I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna finish tomorrow for sure. I am really enjoying it. I do think it has a weird writing style that not everyone will vibe with, and at times I have to reread certain passages because there's a lot of the dialogue is very triple layered. They talk in a lot of riddles and stuff as part of this circus, so that's something that you could actively think about as you're reading it. A couple of times I'll read over it a couple of times to just be like, wait, what? Because I am dumb, and so I feel like that could piss people off, like that could annoy people, but I'm personally really enjoying it. I like Celia as a main character. She's really complicated and she's trying to do her best, but she's a bit messy. I love her. All the different, the boy, I guess, kind of love interest, I guess. I mean, they've just like touched each other sensually, and they keep like I'm like, just bang already. But instead they're just like, get right up close to each other's chests. They haven't kissed. They've just like touched each other in charged moments. But like just like a leg or an arm or like chest to chest. I'm so confused. But yeah, they haven't kissed. So are they love interests, or do they just have like strong energies? I don't know. But yeah, he's really interesting. But again, talks in riddles all the time. And her best friend is interesting. I really like that. Oh, I went to the doctor's today too. That was the thing I did. Because I have a cyst. I love that under my armpit. Where it's really irritating. So I'm on antibiotics for a while. And I'm also on steroids now for my hands. Also a new steroid cream. I've tried steroid creams before, but apparently there's a trick when you have eczema on how to use them best. About avoiding a steroid rebound, which I did not know. So, but he agreed with me it was eczema, and previously we thought it might have been contact dermatitis, but he agreed it was eczema, so that's nice. And so I'm gonna put that on now before I go to bed. But yeah, I'm really enjoying Ink in the Blood. The magic system is super cool. I feel like it has just the right amount of rules and plays really. I love when the magic system plays really closely into religion. I think that's the coolest, because of course it would be. And yeah, I am really enjoying it. I keep wavering between. I feel like the ending's really going to decide whether this is a 5 stars or a 4 stars. Like if I get blown away by the ending, it's a 5 stars. But if the ending's just like more of the same, it'll be 4 stars. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna go to bed. We're gonna finish tomorrow, so I'll tell you about what I think of it in the end tomorrow. I didn't vlog at all yesterday, but like I was at work all day, so I'll blame that, or at least all evening. It's normally when I would vlog, but just this morning I finished Ink in the Blood. I think I've settled on 4 stars for this. It's just didn't quite hit a 5-star mark for me. I did struggle to read the end half more because like my brain wasn't focusing because of everything that's happening. It has been happening, but also this has a strong focus on like violent revolution at the end, and it just like was conflicting in my head. Like not that it was bad, I think it was kind of done well, maybe, I think, though I don't really know. But the my brain just wasn't letting it focus well. I think it was too similar to real life kind of in the end. A lot of like this is more religious persecution. Not persecution, it's like the religious order was fake and they were trying to out it, and then they were like being violently suppressed, I guess, as they were trying to out the dodgy religion. Yeah, I'd be interested to see what a rom reviewer has to say about this, because I feel like it kind of has a few rom elements. I'm not sure. That like you could vaguely call some of this rom representation, but I don't know if it's good, because I don't know. But yeah, so our main characters Celia and Anya join a circus. Basically they're kind of like a traveling circus family thing, and from there they then kind of like lead this revolt. It's kind of, this book was very aesthetically good. Plot wise I think it had a few a few plot holes, but aesthetic wise, magic system wise, all that kind of stuff I really enjoyed, which I was a bit scared I wouldn't, but I did. So yeah, 4 stars. I'm really interested in seeing other people's reviews for this though. Yeah. The next thing we're going to be starting is Rules for Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson, which is called 8 Perfect Murders in the US. So if you were like, that sounds familiar but not quite what I remember, that's why. It's pretty short. It's like just over 250 pages. It's only, what, like a little after 1:30? Yeah, it's like 1:30. I'm gonna try and finish this today. We'll see. Like just over 250 pages? Possible. Especially if it's fast paced. We'll see. So it is Saturday evening. I'm about to go to work. I'm on chapter 20, so like 170 pages into Rules for Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. I have like 100 pages left, so I'm hoping to finish this tonight. I really don't know what to think. At the moment, it's like a 2 stars, but I'm intrigued to find out like the whodunit. That's why I'm continuing. But fuck me, the main character is so pretentious. This has a Manic Pixie Dream Girl element and she gets fridged. Yikes. Yeah, the main character is a pretentious fuckwit. Although the reveals so far and the twists and turns it's taken have been intriguing, so I am really interested to see like who the killer is and how that all plays out. If it's predictable, this is definitely 2 stars. It might get bumped to 3 stars if it's got a good ending. We'll see. If its ending is just average, this will be like a 2-star read. But I am interested to get to the end. Plus, yeah, it's only another 100 pages. It's a quick 100 pages. So I definitely think I could finish this tonight. I also this afternoon was hoping to read all of, but then I ended up taking a nap and got stuck doing some other things, and we watched the first episode of the new season of Drag Race All Stars. So I'm a third of the way through Blood of an Exile by Brian Naslund. This is a dragon fantasy that I am reading while listening along to the audiobook for. This is about our main character, Bashad, and he was caught attempting to assassinate a fellow noble, so he was given the harshest sentence, a command to slay dragons so his death might serve the kingdom. Slaying dragons is pretty hard business and most people don't survive, but he's killed like 65 dragons and he's still not dead. So his ex-lover, the princess, sends him on a mission to assassinate an enemy royal, like from another country, who has taken her little sister back to his country. So it's kind of assassination plot, but it's really, so far, a lot of political maneuvering and machinations. So there have been some action moments with the dragons. It also has a really interesting focus on like environmentalism. Like she's really aware of the connection of the dragons to like upstream, downstream eco health. So like there's plagues that are happening because the dragons aren't eating this other food source that then isn't eating another food source. Like, so if you kill off these dragons, the things they normally hunt are going rampant wild and they're eating all this other thing that would be protecting, you know what I mean? Like the environmental aspects of on the ecosystem from systematically killing dragons, which are harm to the humans, but also there's been, yeah, problems with famine, plague from killing the dragons, and she's kind of tied all that together. She's very, very smart, the princess, and I really like that element. So I'm really interested to see how this continues. This is first in a series, but the second one, this is the only one currently out. And I'm definitely going to finish it tomorrow. I'm going to try and read some more of this tonight. I'm listening on 3 times speed, but I'm about to go to work. So I don't know if when I finish this, if I get back onto this, if I'll listen to the audiobook or just read with my eyes for the rest of the night and then get back into the audiobook tomorrow. We will see, but I'm definitely going to finish this tomorrow. I was hoping to finish it today, but I got busy. We'll finish it tomorrow. We're definitely going to finish this tonight. So yeah, see you tomorrow. All right, so last night I ended up finishing Rules of Perfect Murder by Peter Swanson. I ended up giving this a 2 stars, and I feel like a 2 stars is really rare for me because if I don't like a book that much, I'm normally knowing that pretty early, so I DNF it. I feel like mystery or thriller is one of the few genres where I'd be likely to give out 1s and 2 stars because I want to know, like, I can't deal with not knowing who did it, even when I'm hating it. So I didn't enjoy this, but I needed to see it out. There were a few things I did enjoy, which is why it's a 2 star, not a 1, but the main character was the most pretentious asshole ever. It definitely had a manic pixie dream girl that got fridged, or at least in my opinion she got fridged. There's like no other really female characters. Oh yes, the cop's a lady. I don't know, it's so egocentric around the main character that it's very masculine. He's an asshole. I hate him. Just his whole voice I didn't like. I liked the midway reveals, the ones that are like changing the direction of the plot. I liked those. Didn't like the end reveals. Thought they were a bit mediocre, except for like the kind of very final way things, like that, it was predictable, but I liked the way it was written to play out at the very end. But I didn't think the ending reveals were very good. They didn't blow my mind. There was, yeah, like 1 sentence that I was like, oh, I like how that was written. The rest was all just alright, expected. Yeah, 2 stars for this. But whatever, I'm kind of glad I read it because I don't read enough thrillers to really understand what I like and dislike about the genre, so it was worth the experience. It was kind of a fun ride, but I was just so mad at the main character because he was such an asshole and so pretentious and egotistical that I just couldn't deal. Anyway, I'm also how many pages? 173 pages through Blood of an Exile, so that's just short of halfway. I'm gonna finish this today, and then after that we're gonna start Ruthless Gods. I'm enjoying this. I don't think I have any more to add than what I was saying yesterday though. It's fun, it's a good time, but we're in that like dense middle slog of a fantasy. So we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna be listening to this on audiobook though, so I probably only have like just 2.5 hours-ish left. So I'm gonna shower and then dive into this. And then yeah, later tonight after work, I will kick in to Ruthless Gods, which is very chunky. It's one of the biggest things in this TBR, I think. For this vlog, it's like 525 pages, so it's pretty big, but hopefully the pace will be really fast throughout. I remember Wicked Saints being pretty fast, so we'll see. So I finished Blood of an Exile, and I'm giving this 3 stars. I enjoyed it, but I don't think it was the strongest grimdark fantasy I've read. It got particularly bloody and gory near the end, but I feel like a lot of the middle was just like slow going political maneuvering, and so it took a while for it to really kick in. It wrapped up kind of nicely, but also left a lot of questions open for book 2. I might read book 2. We will see. It's not out yet, I don't think. But hey, I enjoyed this enough. This wasn't perfect for a fantasy for me. There is graphic-ish sex, definitely graphic violence. If you don't like gore, steer clear. I don't know, it has some female characters. It would pass the Bechdel test, I think. Just. Because I think the female character does have agency to a degree. She is like, has her own wants and desires, etc, etc. But I felt like she was framed through a male lens still. I don't know. I kept forgetting she was like a lady. Like I kept being like, God, this is such a masculine book. And I was like, hang on, we have a whole female like point of view character that's a lady. I don't know. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was good. But nothing mind-blowing. It was just alright. It was a fun time. The plot was interesting, but was pretty slow. And the characters were interesting. And the dynamics were interesting, but it wasn't like intriguing and gripping. It was just interesting. Like, yes, I'm curious. So yeah, 3 stars for this. And I just started, but I'm gonna go to bed now. So I've only read like 30 pages of Ruthless Gods, which is a chunky lady. It's a chunky one, but I'm gonna work on this more. Tomorrow we're also starting Aurora Burning tomorrow, which Paige, April and I are buddy reading. I have mixed feelings. J. Kristoff is notoriously an asshole. That's fine. But I enjoyed book 1 in the series. I will say there's a lot of critique about it being like surface level diverse without like, but characters being like internally whitewashed, as in there's this outside visual surface level appearance of diversity, but the actual character experiences and the way race in particular influences them is not well explored, which I would 100% agree with. So it's like diverse, but only surface level diverse. Consider that as you will, or at least the first book. I've heard very mixed things about book 2, but I'm interested to read it and see what I think. So I'm going to start that tomorrow and we'll be reading it over the whole next week. And yeah, that's where we're at for tomorrow. So working on Ruthless Gods, working on Aurora Burning. Yeah, I'm excited. I almost forgot, but hey, let's do a quick vlog update before I go to bed. It is Monday night, so I read about 30 pages of Similar Ascends. Talked about this earlier in the vlog. I'm not finishing this in the vlog, but it kind of fits the theme. This is fucking weird. I don't know what to think about it. I'm still forming opinions on this one. So you probably keep an eye out for my wrap up, because I will be finishing on like the last day of the month, so keep an eye out. April Page and I buddy read the first section for Aurora Rising, so it was like 80 pages. Guys, was Aurora, no, this is Aurora Burning. Was Aurora Rising this cheesy? Like this cheesy? This is real heavy on the cheese to the point that it's cringe. Like, it's cringy. The plot is picking up and I'm a fan of the way the plot is developing. So we'll see on that front, because I like that. But the writing is like a gag. Fun though. I do like the like found family character dynamics, but the writing is just so awful. I hate it. So we're going to be continuing that tomorrow. One chapter in particular like made us all want to gouge our eyes out, so that's fun. And then I read another like 60 pages, so I'm nearly at page 100 in Ruthless Gods. I would have read more, but I want to sleep because I have to work early in the morning. I'm really enjoying this compared, like contrasting to Aurora Burning. I like the prose in this. I love the characters. But in this, I struggle to follow the plot elements. I feel like it'll ease up the further it goes in the novel, but the plot is kind of confusing. Especially at the start, like motivations and stuff is a little bit all over the place. Like, I like Susan Dennard's description of like, everything should feel like the only logical option, or like the logical option. And there should be a drive for like everything that happens, like stepping stones from one thing to the next. And I feel like that's missing a little bit at the start of this. But we'll see how it progresses. I love the atmosphere, I love the characters, I love the magic systems. And I'm really interested to see how it continues. I'm on chapter 7. So we're gonna continue that in the morning. Yeah, that's the plan. So I'll talk to you tomorrow. I'm definitely going to work more. I want to get through a bigger chunk of this tomorrow if I can, because I don't want to be reading this literally all week if I can help it. But I do have the sections of those other two to also read tomorrow. Then I have lots of work to do. And a video I want to edit. And work in the morning and work in the evening. And it's going to be a busy day. Like heaps of work to do. But hey, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm still in the midst of work, but I just finished listening to a section of Sunland Ascends. So I'm now on page 150, so I'll be putting it down for the rest of the week. And you won't hear me talk about it again in this vlog, probably, unless I run overtime. But hey, I still have no... I don't know what my opinion is on this. See my wrap up. I'm going to do some work, and then I'm going to visit a friend, and then I'm going to be working on Aurora Burning. The section today is pretty short, so should be breezy. Welcome to another breakfast update. I forgot to update last night. Hey. Aurora Burning. We are April Page and I 219 pages in. I haven't read today's section yet. I'm not liking it, folks. So book 1 was super campy and cheesy, but like in a fun way where you could forgive its things, like its corniness. But This one I'm finding the corniness is just dragging me so far out of the story. Like I can't just breeze along with it. It's like too much. It's just, I'm enjoying the plot to an extent, but some things just seem a little, there are a few elements in the plot that seem a bit weak. I still feel like I don't understand where they're trying to go, but that's because there are some twisty kind of things at play, so they don't really know what's happening. But like, they keep getting waylaid from their main goal, so the main goal hasn't really developed itself yet, and it's like we're like more than a third of the way through the book, and I hate that. Some points of view I like better than others. Not feeling it. It's currently sitting at a 2-star. If I was reading it on my own, if it was the first in a series and I was reading it on my own, I probably would have DNF'd by now. But I really want to see how some of the elements regarding the plot play out, and I'm like semi-invested in the characters, even though they're pissing me off. So we'll finish it, but that's how that's going. So yeah, like just under halfway. I'll read today's section sometime soonish, and then I am how far through this? I am like 250 pages, which is just under half again, through Ruthless Gods. This is taking me a little longer than I hoped, but only because I feel like I didn't give myself enough time for this. Like, I was like, yeah, I'll breeze through it, forgetting it's like 500 pages. Like, it's not that I'm not reading a decent amount each day, it's just that it's a big ass book, and I've been kind of busy. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think these characters, this is obviously a sequel as well, and these characters I think are so interesting, and their dynamics are really fun. I do think the writing style at times leads itself to confusing dialogue where you're like, wait, who said that? I'm kind of like, huh, huh, huh. And it also, plot-wise, does some things that are a bit convenient, but the atmosphere is just top-notch. So this really has dialed up the game on the body horror compared to book one. So if that's something that you don't like, steer clear of this, but like, it's good shit. So atmosphere-wise, amazing. Exactly what I wanted. But writing style is most of the time good, but occasionally has some confusing moments where I think it could have been like tightened in editing to make it really clear what was happening. It just became confusing in a few moments, and enough that it wasn't just like one scene, so I could forgive it. It's been a couple of times where I've been like and had to reread a couple of times and still just guessing. And then, yeah, plot is convenient, but that can be fine. Like, it's fine. It's more like, not that things get, it's kind of like an outside force then acts upon the group at just at the time where you need them to split up to make it interesting, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, the outside force, the timing of the outside forces isn't important. It just conveniently happens when it's necessary to break the group up. Yeah. And for like no clear reason yet, but a lot of atmosphere building. So overall, we're here for the atmosphere. And I'm enjoying my time reading it. Like, I love reading it compared to Aurora Burning, which I'm struggling through. And that may be part of the reason I haven't got as much read of this as I could have, because Aurora Burning is a body read, so I'm trying to make sure I read my section each day. So this takes me longer than planned, so then I have less time in the day to work on this. Whereas if I was reading just this, I think I would have like breezed through it faster. Not only like, you know what I mean? Like, I read more pages in a set time of this than I do of Aurora Burning. So Aurora Burning takes up more time in my evening because of that. But hey. I'm starting Kings of the Wild today by Nicholas Ames. on audiobooks. I'm going to be listening to that while I work. And that's our penultimate read for this vlog. After that, there's only one that I haven't started yet, which I'll be diving into after Ruthless Gods. I'm a bit concerned. So this is a 2-week vlog, but I'm concerned it's going to go a few days over 2 weeks, just to get the final things finished. But you're going to hang around with me until they're done, because that's how this vlog's working. We colour in the vlog, so hey, probably need to film some B film, hey. I feel like this vlog is incredibly boring, but alas. When did I last update you? Who knows? It is Friday night. I've ended up PM shift, so I've got work in a little bit. I've read today's section of Aurora Burning, and I still am not loving it. I'm not hating it as much as I did at the start. It's kind of grown a bit. More just as plot is picking up, cheese is slacking off. There's still quite a few eye-rolling moments in this section. We've obviously only got 2 more days to go, so we're getting closer to the end. It's still sitting at like a 2-star. If I had been reading it on my own, would I have DNF'd it? Honestly, I'm not sure. Anyway, I'm on page 360 of Ruthless Gods, which means I have like, I don't even know anymore. It's 530 pages, so I'm gonna try and finish it tonight. So it's like 170 left. 170? I can't math. Yeah, about 170 left. I'm gonna try and, before I leave for work, get through that 100. Or at least like 90 if I can, and then finish it at work. Is my plan. Then all weekend I'll finish Kings of the Wild and Shortfall. Is the idea. I don't know if it's actually achievable, but we're going to attempt it. We're definitely going to try and finish this tonight. If not, start a little bit of Shortfall as well. Like, also try and start a little bit of Shortfall if we can manage it. I'm enjoying this, and I think I'm enjoying it a lot more than book 1, because I think it's much darker and body horror and going further than book 1 ever did. But it still has a very strange plot development. I don't know. It's a bit all over the place. Not all over the place, just strange. I can see where it's trying to go, but it's a bit annoying that it's really only getting there at this stage of the book. I'm presuming that's going to lead into the 3rd book. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's currently sitting at a 4-star, especially if the ending is really good. But we will see how it plays out. I will probably chat to you about it in the morning, because I don't think I'll take my camera to work with me, but I'll let you know in the morning what my thoughts were on this. I'm determined to finish it tonight. So not only did I have big beautiful energy, I got my work hours mixed up, so I actually started at 11, not 10. I used that extra time to finish Ruthless Gods by Emily A. Duncan. We're done. I ended up giving this a 4 stars. Something I noticed while finishing this is that Emily Duncan really shies away from, haha, sorry, let me put the book back up. Really shies away from action scenes. All of her stuff is really character work, and action scenes get glossed over a lot. I personally don't mind that, but if you are more plot driven rather than character driven, that would definitely get on your nerves, I think. And I think that's part of the reason why the plot is sometimes hard to follow, because the action sequences aren't always logical and it's more about the dialogue. So loved the cliffhanger, loved where that's all gearing up, ready to go. I also read this for the prompt for Blue Balls, which is something with a massive cliffhanger for Not Safe for Work Thumb. And yeah, it definitely had that. I thought it would, and it did. Yeah, this was dark and gory. I really don't understand how it's considered YA. This is adult fantasy to me. It's very grim dark, but I am not the classification gods. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I definitely liked it more than the first one. I feel like I gave the first one 5 stars, but it was in a time in my life where I was giving out my 5 stars much more freely. And I'm a bit more reserved about 5 stars now. So this is a 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait to read book 3. But I definitely think this series is not for everyone. If you are a plot person, don't even bother. It's a character book, really. It's a character study. But the characters are so fascinating and twisty, and they're fucking things up left, right and center, and I love it. Alright, so the next book I'm going to start, and the final book we're starting for this vlog, but we've still got the Kings of the Wild going, is Shorefall by Robert Jackson Bennett. I'm predicting this is going to be 5 stars because I freaking loved Foundricide with my whole heart and soul. But hey, I'm gonna read like the first chapter or so of this. Then I'm gonna go to work and hopefully maybe try and get to like page 30 or 50 or whatever we manage to get to. We'll see how fast paced it is. But yeah, if you wanted to know, I'm also 220-ish pages into Kings of the Wild. I'm gonna be working on this over the weekend too. Yeah. Alright, so I'm like, what, 80 pages in to this. Was the first one sapphic and I just forgot? I think it was. It is currently Saturday night. I read today's section of Aurora Burning. We're finally getting to the good shit. Still think it'll only average out like a 2 star. Unless like the final section like absolutely blows my socks off tomorrow. And then I've been working on this. We're gonna go have dinner soon, but when I get back I'm gonna finish the first section of this, which is like 120 pages, and then I'm gonna work on Kings of the Wild for a little while because we gotta finish that. So that's kind of the plan for the evening. I'm going to get to the end of the first section of this, which is like, what, 125 pages. Then try and read like most of the rest of Kings of the Wild. I got like 3 hours left on the audiobook, maybe a little bit more than that. So like between 3 and 4 hours left on the, no, between 9 and 10 hours left on the audiobook. So on 3 times speed, which is what I'm going to be listening to. It's going to be like 3 and a bit-ish hours of actual listening. So probably won't finish it tonight, but I want to get like maybe 2 hours of that done. Like 2 solid hours of reading, which is possible. So yeah, that's my plan for the evening. So hit me up. And then I'm going to try and finish both it and, well, everything tomorrow. I have work in the afternoon and evening, which might mean we don't quite finish Shorefall, but I want to get far enough through it that if at worst, I'm just like capping it off Monday morning. So see how we go, buddy. I will fill in more of my thoughts on Shorefall as I get to the end of that first section, because I'm really enjoying it. But we're only just getting in. I love this series. It's so heisty. The magic system is kind of like coding, which I'm enjoying. Like I enjoyed in book 1. I love the heisty elements and I really like all the characters. I just totally forgot that our main character is super sapphic, so I'm loving life. Oh, what a flattering angle. Ooh. Okay, so I've been reading Kings of the Wild tonight. I'm now on page 289. So I'm gonna finish this out hopefully tomorrow morning-ish. Probably got about 2 and a bit hours left on the audiobook, like when I'm doing it 3 speed. So that's fun. I am loving this. Have I told too much about what it's about in this vlog? This is a to me it reminds me a lot of Terry Pratchett. But essentially we follow, and my character is Clay, and he was part of this mercenary band called Saga, and they've all retired, but one of the band members, Gabe, his daughter has gone missing in this foreign land, I guess, and so he gets the band back together to go get her. So it's a getting the band back together trope. with so many like musical references as well, but in the context of a mercenary band in a medieval setting. So they talk about like how, oh, being in a band just isn't like what it used to be. We used to have to go finding gigs and having our booker pick stuff for us, but they all just play big stadiums now and stuff like. Oh, it's so funny. It's hilarious. It's dirty and gory and funny. And just like so silly, but I love it. And they've all found themselves in different places in life. We see some familiar kind of figures, like a Medusa kind of character, like a Gorgon. She's a Gorgon. And yeah, lots of other stuff. There's a bard and a wizard and like all the things you'd expect in a mercenary band, and it's just so funny. Anyway, I'm gonna finish this tomorrow. Definitely gonna finish Aurora Burning tomorrow, and I'm gonna try and get through as much of Shortfall as I possibly can. I'm on page 127 of Shortfall. So we're going to try and get through as much of that as well as we can tomorrow. So, holla. See you then. Alright, so I look a mess. I'm about to go shower and wash my hair, but I just finished Aurora Burning. This is some bullshit. So, I think this is like a 2.5 stars. The end had some redeeming qualities, but I'm not doing half stars in the moment, so I'm going to round it to a 3, but that's being generous. But also I'm going to read book 3 because of the ending. So basically, the first book I gave 5 stars, but it was campy, but like campy in a good way. And I enjoyed the characters and the plot and everything. This, I think, took the camp 2 steps too far, so it just pulled me out of the story constantly. Scarlett's point of view was the worst for it, but it was kind of present throughout. The plot elements in this, the plot to me was average till about 3/4 of the way. Then it was really interesting, but also all of the things I'm interested in are left empty to be completed in book 3. Part of my problem. Like I'm really interested. There's a like kind of time travel-y element where they all received these items that give hints about the future, but they don't know who gave it to them. I have an idea about who provided them, and I wanted that to be revealed. I have an idea of who I think did that. And I think that's pretty obvious from the narrative. I don't know. I'll see if either of Paige and April had the same thought as me, or if I'm just like thinking ahead. I thought it was pretty obvious. And then it ended on like the biggest cliffhanger. Like, if you've ever read Six Sacred Stones by Matthew Riley, it literally ends with the main character falling off a cliff into a bottomless pit. Like, falling into a bottomless pit. And it just ends. And this is kind of the same thing. You get to a high moment of tension and then it just ends. So I'm definitely gonna read book 3 because I can't not know how it ends, and I also want to know a lot of those threads that were like left in this open. I feel like not enough threads were closed. I feel like that time travel element was entirely there to bypass the issue of characters acting out of character. So I feel like at some point they got a critique that like, oh, why would they actually do that? Why would the characters make that decision? And they're like, oh, you know how we solve this? We just give them like portents from the future and then they'll know what to do. I don't know. It felt a bit cheap and easy. Some of the reveals, I was like, that just seems convenient. I don't know. Yeah. But I did enjoy my time reading the ending, even if I didn't enjoy my time reading most of it. I don't know. So yeah, it's between a 2 and a 3 stars, but I want to give it 3 stars to be generous. But like, but then again, I'm still gonna read book 3, even though it's pretty trashy. Alrighty, so I just finished Kings of the Wild by Nicholas Ames. It's Monday morning. We're gonna keep this vlog for another couple of days. Hopefully just today. We'll see. I'm gonna try and finish Shorefall today, but obviously we do have that still left. I'm like halfway through, but it's super fast paced, so hopefully if I work hard I can finish it tonight. But yeah, I just finished Kings of the Wild. I gave this 5 stars. It's so fun. I loved all the musical references, like right at the end there was a little Sid Barrett reference, there's Neil Young references, there's probably heaps I missed. It's like this is super like guysy. I'm really excited to read Bloody Rose because that obviously features Rose as the main character, so I'm interested to see how that differs from this, and what kind of references it plays into. This is definitely like a man's world kind of story, but it was funny and fun, very like light-hearted fantasy, even though it's gory. I had a good time. 5 stars. I'm definitely going to be picking up Bloody Rose sometime soon, hopefully soon, though I don't think an audiobook is on script for it, so I'm going to buy it and read it with my eyes. But like, this was great. Hey, so I'm going to wrap up this vlog. It's actually Wednesday night now. I just finished Shorefall. It's taken me a bit of time because it's been an adventure. It's just long. That's all. I've been loving every minute of this. It was so good. This series has been like an instant 5 stars, like from when I first started book 1, and this didn't let me down. It's twisty, it's high stakes, things going on, and in this one the high stakes just expanded and continued, and it was so intense and everything was happening, and I was just obviously I give it 5 stars. I can't wait to read book 3. I know it'll be a while, but like it was just so good. And the ending, like the first ending was kind of like wrapped up but had some loose threads. This one's like a cliffhanger ending, kind of. It's like some bits were wrapped up but so much was blown wide open in the last minute. So yeah, I'm a mess after reading this. I love the characters. I forgot that Sansa is sapphic, so that was just like a fun time to have this female romance throughout. And yeah, it's just so good. So good. Anyway, can I be bothered going and getting the stack? No, I am lazy. But this vlog, we have read 7 books with red, white and black color themes. We had a book I gave 2.5 stars, a 5-star, 2 5-star reads, an average 3-star read. What else was there? Oh, there was Ink in the Blood, which I enjoyed. Did I give that 5 or 4 stars? 4. Rules of Perfect Murder, which I gave 2 stars. Blood of an Exile, which I gave 3 stars. Ruthless Gods, which I gave 4 stars. I gave Aurora Benny 3 stars, but it's really like a 2.5. Kings of the Wild, I gave 5 stars. And then Shorefall, I gave 5 stars. So 2 things I really didn't enjoy and 2 things I absolutely adored, and then some in the middle. So I think this is a pretty successful 2.5 weeks. Thanks so much for hanging out for this vlog. I'll see you soon with another one. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this like color your shelves kind of thing, kind of inspired by Chelsea Darling Reads. I think I said that at the start, but if I didn't, this is obviously strongly inspired by Chelsea Darling Reads color your shelves vlogs. So if I ever fluke a TBR that has a lot of the same color again, you might see another one of these from me. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.